I welcome everyone to this call. Please, so that there'll be distraction, I would like everybody to mute their mic, though I've muted everybody here. But when the speaker starts, you might have opportunity to unmute your mic when the speaker is talking, but please don't unmute your mic so that there won't be distraction. I welcome you once again to this call. Here with me, I have the moderator for today, the person of Anna Akiola. I have the speaker, and I have my awesome participants here. I can see Christabel, Femi Lawal, Odusha. I can't mention everybody's name. Richard, welcome to the call. Abiodun Samuel, welcome to the call. Damilola Oyewole, Aderoke Oyewole, welcome to the call. I welcome everyone to the call. So why are we here today? This is an event organized by Harlot Academy. I would just like to, let me introduce myself. The person speaking is Olushola Kimbode. I am a software engineer, so co-founder of Harlot Academy. So let me just tell you brief about what's brought Harlot Academy. Why are we here? So Harlot Academy is actually an highlight education technology startup that is born out of a need to provide opportunity for young Nigerians so that they will gain access to digital world. You know what? There's limited opportunity in digital world today. Whenever you want to do it, especially this age of no cash, you can even the market women actually need technology now. There's some people that they will reject a transaction now, but when they know that nobody's buying their market, no cash out there, they don't have any other choice than to accept. In fact, is grandmas can even do transfer now. So the opportunity in digital world is actually increasing. It's increasing. The opportunities, in fact, we just need talent out there in digital world. And the every company out there that needs talent, they've set the standard. That's just the facts. They've set the standard. They need talent. They need someone that has mastered the skill before they can actually get employed, or because before they can actually solve the problem that they want to address in the company. Okay, and the problem we're trying to solve as a startup is we discovered that okay, these are the opportunities. Okay, these the skills they need. These are the talent they need. These are the but the people are not there. Not that they are not interested. Not that they are not actually. They're not pacing to actually to meet the standard, but they find themselves they'll do a lot of training. I've actually attended a lot of trainings before, and I'll just at the point I just evaluate my all the trainings. None of them actually give me the standard the companies have themselves. The companies not no standard company will actually employ you when you don't have your CV, when you don't have your portfolio, and portfolio is as a sort of experience. And most of the training will actually not train for the portfolio and all. So we are actually here to solve the problem of creating not creating job. We are producing talents that are job ready for the digital space. So today event is all about don't get stuck. A lot of people have got stuck out there. They've gone through some training on how the other, but they don't know how to actually turn it to what they are actually designed for. The skills is there. It's dormant. There's some people that have taken a lot of trainings, but they are not confident enough to say okay they want to take up the job and all, and the job is out there. They're even looking for the people that actually take up the job. So I can my work for today is not to actually tell you about all this. We have the speaker here, the person of Oyegusi. So my moderator for today is Anna Anna Akiola. So I'm going to hand over to the moderator. Once again, thank you for joining the call. Anna Akiola, please can kick off from here. Thank you. Welcome.
All right, good evening, everyone. All right, good evening, everyone. I'm happy to have us on the call. Thank you, Mr. Kimbode, for the brief introduction. I guess you've learned one or two things about a lot academy already. They're the one hosting us on this program. So, all right. So my name is Anna Kinola, and I'll be moderating tonight's event. I welcome everyone to this virtual space. I want to say thank you for joining us tonight. So the theme of tonight's event is Don't Get Stuck on the Journey, Roadmap to Become a Job-Ready UI/UX Designer in 2023. So I know some of us here knows a little nothing about UI/UX. So let me quickly tell us the meaning of UI and UX. UI means user interface, while UX means user experience. All right, so there's one thing I want us to do, just to make this session interactive. I want us to introduce ourselves by sending our level of experience in UI/UX. Communicate your level of experience in the in-call message section. This can we quickly do that? I Maybe you're an amateur, a novice, a senior designer, a junior designer. Just communicate your level of experience in the chat section. I hope you are doing that already. Okay. So tonight, our speaker will be enlightening us on live applications of product design, job availability, amount of time needed to start applying for job entry jobs, and lots more. And you will also be privileged to ask questions. So I'll advise us to start noting down our questions as it speaks. Just note it down. You don't think that, okay, I can memorize my question and then it gets to, by the time it's done, you might not even remember what you want to ask again. So that's why it's very important to note your question. And just like our host said the other time, don't unmute your mic. If you have any question, just raise your hand, show of hand. Let's just signify by the show of hand, and then you'll be called on to unmute your mic. All right, so let's sit back and learn from those who know the road. As you can see, our speaker is a senior designer, so he has walked the road. He has walked the road. He has experience to share. So I want us to sit back and learn from him. And please, let me emphasize this again. Let's not unmute our mic, please. Let's mute our mics and let's pay attention to what our speaker has to say tonight. So any form of communication, perhaps they have something to say, just send chat to the in-call message session. So let me thank you, Haed, for paying rapt attention to whatever our speaker has to say to us tonight. And let me thank you for paying attention to what I'm saying now. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome our guest speaker. He's a talented UI/UX designer based in Lagos, Nigeria. And he's a graduate of Obafemi Awolowo University, Grace Ife. So if you are a product of where you here, just send Grace Ife in the income message section. Let's feel ourselves. I'm also a product of where you, so I know how that things shocks you somehow. Anyway, all right. So that's just by the side. I'm sure we'll get some awesome reactions. I'm sure we'll get to learn some awesome things from him tonight. Let me tell you more about our guest speaker. He currently works as a lead UI/UX designer at Zenny Bank PLC. And he also uses his expertise, his creativity, his skills to design innovative and user-friendly screenwriter and an innovation. And one more thing I would like you to know about our speaker tonight is that he's committed to mentoring and inspiring the next generation, just as he's doing tonight. He's going to speak to us. He's going to, I'm sure some of our audience, they are new to UIUX, while some, they are not new to it. So he's coming to inspire us to, perhaps some of us are stuck in the journey already. So you get solution from tonight's talk. Okay, so join me in welcoming Mr. Adesoji Oyewusi. Welcome him with your favorite emoji in the in-comments section. And please, I keep saying I don't want a situation whereby we are in a meeting and your mind is somewhere else. That's why I keep saying we should interact in the chat section. So please just welcome with your favorite emoji and welcome him, send him your nicest emoji, what you like, the emoji you like, you use whenever you're chatting, and welcome him. So join me, welcome Mr. Soji. You can unmute, sir.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. So, a quick mic check. If you can hear me, just give me a signal that you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Okay, that was a interesting introduction I was giving. Thank you very much for having me. I would say it's a pleasure to be here. Elot Academy, thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this awesome conversation talking about UIUX. And I'm sure that by the end of this call, you are going to know more, you will learn more. If you had doubts before, your doubts will be cleared. And if you had questions, I hope I'll be able to answer your questions and help you to navigate a path into becoming a UIUX designer. All right. There was something I wanted to do, but the moderator has done it. I wanted to know who my audiences are. I wanted to know what skill level do you have in UIUX? There are some people here that you have not heard anything about UIUX before, or you have been hearing UIUX, but you have no idea what it is, what we do as UIUX designers. And some people might be here, you've started a journey and you are not sure how to continue, you are not sure what next to do, you are not sure even if this is worth it. All right. Okay. I hope that by the end of this call, you would make decisions that will channel a path for you. So, before I go into the details of my my conversation tonight, my topic, I like to always tell people how I got into UI/UX, and I hope that that story will inspire somebody, someone who's undecided yet. I try to share this story so that um, you can be inspired and to make proper decisions. Okay, so it all started one day. I had a very important meeting. Then some years ago. I was fresh graduate from the university, or I've graduated like maybe 2 years after my university, and that's that period of your life when you are done with university, you are done with NYSC, and reality dawns on you that it's like this course I studied in school. It's like this course is a useless course. So it's after you have finished serving, and you're not realizing that it's like this thing I studied in school. Like it could make sense. So maybe I should have done something else with my life. I was at that phase, because I didn't study a useless course, so I did not because I'm benefiting from it today anyway. But I was at that phase where I was thinking maybe I should have done something different with my life, and I studied dramatic arts. So as a side hustle for me, I'm a filmmaker, right? So I'm doing what I love. I'm doing what I enjoy. So, but then filmmaking wasn't paying my bills, right? It wasn't meeting my needs. I wasn't doing anything with it. I was just writing. I was just there. I was just floating, right? And I made a huge transition that changed the course of my life one day. I had a very important meeting. The meeting, those in attendance in that meeting were the stakeholders of my life, as it were. And who are the people in attendance? Myself, my brain, my passion. There's a time that passion wants to do something, but brain is telling you that this is your passion. You will enter Baba, yeah, this is your passion. So I had a very important meeting with myself, my headquarters, and I realized that if I don't change the course of my life, right, I'm going to experience a multi-dimensional level of sharper, and my eye will see shaggy, plenty of it. So I didn't want that to happen to me. So I asked myself some questions, and those questions are: one, what kind of life do you want? What do you want to do with your life, SOG? What do you want to do with your life? And I began to craft a vision for myself of what I wanted to achieve. I want to live in this area. I want to have this kind of family. I want to live in a good place. I want my kids to attend good schools. I want to drive a good car. You know, those interesting dreams and ambitions and visions, which is very good, right? But now the question is this: how do you get these things? How are you going to achieve all of these things, right? What job are you? How much will it cost for you to be able to get all of these things that you have said? How much will it cost you every month for you to be able to achieve these things? And I put an amount to that vision. One thing you must do is that you must always put a price to every ambition, every dream, every passion you have. Put a figure to it. Be very practical, basically. That's what I'm saying. And I figured out that, okay, I need to make this amount of money every month before I can achieve this my goal of living this type of lifestyle, right? Now, next question is this: which work will I do that is going to earn me this amount of money every month? Which work will I do? Which business will I do that will earn me this amount of money every month as income so that I can live this life I want? Okay, I thought hard about it. What are the most highest paying jobs in Nigeria? And I did a research of all the highest paying jobs. To mostly oil sector, banking and finance, health sector, architecture, telecommunications, engineering. Those were the highest paying jobs that I saw, right? Then I asked myself, of these skills, of these jobs that you have seen now, which of them are you qualified for? Which of them can you do? And there was none of them I could do. So it means that if I'm going to judge my um, if I'm going to judge my ability to be able to meet these needs of mine, I need to be able to earn this income. And I don't qualify because I don't have the skills any of these highest paying fields, right? That was when I discovered a field that does not require me to have that level of expertise and certification before I can enter it. And that is area of tech. And I began to do some research in that area, and I saw that okay, there is opportunity here. I don't need any prior knowledge before I transition into tech. I can come into tech the way I am. I studied dramatic arts. I studied dramatic arts in school. So that does not stop me from entering into the world of tech, right? So I made that realization and I made that transition. I switched my career path from film and TV and whatever, and I joined and I moved into tech. So that was my journey. That is a very, very abridged summary of my journey and how I got into tech, right? So I started off as a graphics designer. I was making some graphics design, nice graphics. I was doing um, Photoshop manipulation, photo manipulations. I was designing logos. I was doing that to keep body and soul together while I was learning something else. I was learning front end. But as I was learning front end, I realized that this front end was not front ending at all. It was not my thing, right? It was a very tasking um, experience for me. I was not really getting it. I was not vibing with front end. And if you are here, doing you are in a different tech area, and front end development is not developing. I would encourage you to have a revisit your plans, and probably you might need to make a decision of transitioning to somewhere else. Anyway, let me move on. So then a good friend of mine told me that have I heard of UIUX, that I should research into it, that I might find it good. I might find it interesting that people are really jumping on it. I might find it interesting too. So I decided to jump on it. And boy, I jumped in, and that's where I am now. I have not jumped out. It's been an experience. It's been an exciting experience. I'll share some of my journey with everyone. So I said that so that anybody who is here, who is thinking that, I don't know anything about UI UX design. I don't know, will I do well there? I didn't study anything related to it. Nope, nope, don't even consider it. What you studied in the university has absolutely zero impact on your decision or your choice of being in this industry, UI UX, or any other tech space at all. So just thought I should mention that to somebody so that you clear that doubt. Okay, so UI UX. What is UI UX? Let me start from there. I'll try and be as practical as possible. I'm not really the fan of giving long definitions, so I just try to use examples so that you can really relate. So let us say that who has a who has catering business here? You are doing catering business. You can bake cakes or something. You can make cakes. You do meat pie or something like that. Who does that here? There's someone that does that here. I know you. Show yourself. But let's say um, someone has a offers catering services, right? And why am I saying she? Okay, the person that doesn't have to be a she, and the person um, wants more reach. She wants more people to patronize her, and she heard that okay, if you have a mobile app, people will patronize you more. Mobile app, Abi. Okay. Mobile app. Okay. Then she decides that how do I get a mobile app? What do I do? Who do I talk to? So I'm going to make this interactive now. Let's say you are that person, or that person comes to you that she wants a mobile app for her business. She sells cakes, she does pastries, she does small chops, all of those things. And she's coming to you. She wants to have a mobile app so she can sell and reach more people. I'd like to ask you no wrong answers, as in there's no wrong answer. So whatever comes to your mind, just be free to say it. What's the first thing you are going to do? This person comes to meet you. I want to build a mobile app, and you are a UI UX designer. I know you might not know it, but I'm just trying to force you to think. So anybody here who has an answer for me, just raise your hand. Can you raise your hand here? Okay. Yes, you can. Statiti said, I will refer to you. You are the UI UX designer. You are the one, not me. All right, let's talk. What are you going to do? This person wants a mobile app, right? And they come to you. What do you think is the first thing that they should do? The lights in my office is motion sensor, so when you don't move, the light will go off. All right, thank you. Okay, anybody? I think people are muted. I want people to talk. Admin, can you unmute everyone that is temporarily? I want people to talk. I want to explain UI UX with this example.
People can unmute the mic actually.
Okay, if you can unmute your mic if you have
I
an
think
answer.
the person will need to visit a software engineer.
Okay, software engineer. Okay. Okay, who else has something else to say? Software engineer. Anybody?
Hello, sir. What was the question, sir?
The question is someone has, I want to explain UI UX, right? And I want to use an example. Someone wants to, the person has a catering service. She bakes cakes, small chops, and all of that, right? And she wants, someone told her that if you want your business to move faster, get a mobile app so that people can download your app and just order your products on their mobile phones, and you get more reach, you get more visibility, you get more customers, you get more traction for your business, all of that. And the question is this: so, what is the first thing you are going to tell this person to do? What's the first thing you are going to do as a UI UX designer?
I think Abiodun Samuel is raising up his hand.
Okay, please just speak. Unmute your mic and speak.
I've already asked my question, so you've explained the questions. So
I answered the question. I've explained the question to you. Okay, let me come in here. So, okay, if your hand is raised, I don't know, I can't see the hands raised, so I'm not sure who is raising hands or not. I'm just looking at the screen right now. So if you have anything to say, just raise your hand. Just speak up. Since the mics are unmuted, just speak up. Okay, so let's move on because of time. Um, the first thing you're going to do is you need to understand why this person wants this product. You need to understand the goals of this person. It's like building a house, architecture. An architect, before you see a building, an architect designs a building, then the builders take the design and implement it, right? Now, the architect doesn't just decide that I'm going to build a structure. They need to do some level of work to understand what kind of building do you want. Do you want a 2 bedroom? Do you want a bungalow? Do you want a duplex? How big do you want the rooms to be? Do you want a garage? Do you want a porch? Do you want a balcony? What kind of roof do you want? What kind of window? What kind of floors, styling do you want? What kind of um how many rooms do you want the house to have? How many toilets and kitchen, and does it have a guest house? You ask all those questions. Then you now ask other questions such as what kind of feel do you want? Do you want Italian style? Do you want Egyptian style? How do you want the flow of your whatever is to be? And so what style do you want? Are there any special features you want to see in the building? Do you want a pool? Do you want, ask questions like that to get as much information, right? There are many occupants to stay in this apartment. Is it a family house? Will you have kids in the house? Will you have visitors often in the house? You ask those questions. What are you trying to do? You're trying to understand the problem this person is trying to solve. Everybody that has a problem, every business person has a problem, everybody wants an app, a digital product that has a problem. Your work as a UI UX designer is to understand what they are trying to achieve, understand their goals, understand the problem they are trying to solve, understand why they want what they want, and understand if the solution that they are telling you they want is the right solution for that problem. For instance, now, let us say this person that wants to build a mobile app for a catering service, right? Let us say she she is thinking that a mobile app is what she needs to reach a larger audience, right? What she thinks she needs. Remind you, what she thinks. What the UI UX designer does is to analyze the problem she is trying to solve, right? Then look at what is the best solution to this problem. Is it really a mobile app? What if a simple website can solve that problem for you and you won't get faster audience reach? What if it's not a mobile app you need? What if it's a website you need? A very simple, basic website. What if that is what you need to solve that problem? Right? Because the last thing you want to do is to design a mobile app that nobody is using. Okay? So that example helps you to summarize, to give them a general overview of what this field is all about, right? So to give you a definition, this is not a class to define what UI UX as in core definition, but I'll try and give you a simple definition now. UI UX. UI stands for user interface, while UX stands for user experience. User interface is everything you are seeing right now on your screen. We are currently all on Google Meet. Everything you are seeing right now on your screen is the user interface for Google Meet. If you can mute your mic to limit distractions, I would appreciate that. So you can see your screen right now. You can see the layout of this screen. You can see all the participants. They are well structured in different rectangles, in different sections. You can see the menu, the buttons at the bottom. You can see all the interactions that you can do on this particular screen right now, right? This is the user interface, everything that you can interact with, everything that you can see on a digital product. Now, mostly it is either going to be a website, a mobile app. However, that is not all a user interface is. User interface is anything that you can interact with. It could be a smart TV. It could be a smartwatch. A smartwatch has an interface. My battery has died. A smartwatch has an interface. It could be a mobile phone. It could be there are some electronic devices like a refrigerator that has an interface where you can do stuffs on. Sometimes a microwave has an interface where you can actually make some settings on. Anything at all that has an interface that people can interact with, right? That is what you call a user interface, and it is your job to design it. So think wide on look around you. What are the things that you can interact with, that you can press, that you can receive feedback from, that you can give a command to, and it's going to respond. Behind me is a board. This is an interface. This is um, a board, an electronic board you can write on. This board has an interface, as you can see. The letter bigger or what? You can see the different interfaces. It does different. I can interact with this smaller screen, and so this gives you a wide scope of things that you can do as a designer, right? So you design softwares, your favorite games that you play, your favorite apps you use on your phone, all of them. They have interfaces that you can interact with, right? So that is user interface. What you see mostly there are design. As I was saying, anything you can interact with is your interface. What about the experience? What is user experience? Now, the experience is I call it the design that you cannot see. Right now we are on Google Meet. You might be connecting from your mobile device or from a laptop. I'm connecting from a laptop right now. And possibly a number of you are connecting from your mobile phones. Now, what we are seeing now is the user experience, is the user interface, right? The user experience is the design that we can't see, but is responsible for what we can see. I will give you an example or try to make it understandable. Let us say, how do you feel? What is your experience when you are using a mobile app? Have you ever used a website before that you opened it on your phone and it was not mobile responsive? You open the website on your phone and you have to be scrolling to see some text. Some of the design is hidden inside the invisible part of your phone. So you have to scroll out to press a button. Have you ever experienced that before? Have you ever experienced a mobile app that you click the button, you thought it was a button, but it was not? Have you ever had the experience that you are looking for something on you are looking for an action on a screen, on an interface, and you can't find it? Have you tried to um, maybe you saw a box that looks like a text box. I want to type there, but it's not showing anything. Or you sent a message and it didn't give you a feedback that something is happening. This is very, very frustrating. Like you are trying to perform an action and you let's say you want to submit something and you click on submit and nothing happens. You are just there watching your screen. Nothing is happening. You click submit again, thinking that something is supposed to happen to let you know that you have submitted this particular thing, but nothing. And you click again. And you kept on clicking, thinking something was wrong with the button. The design, however, the design did not account for a feedback system to let you know that you have performed an action. And it leaves you frustrated that this thing is wasting my time and you throw it away. That experience, you can't really see it, but that thing you have just done has made you feel frustrated. That thing is a design, an invisible design. It's an invisible design and is responsible for how you are feeling while using a particular digital product. I'll give you another example. Let us say you are another example of user experience that have you ever used, have you ever opened, I'm sure many of you are guilty of this. You download an app and you open the app, and the first thing, let's say all these loan apps or a fintech app, and you open the app and it's asking you to give BVN number at the very beginning. I want somebody who has experienced that. What did you do? You opened an app and just saw submit your BVN number before you can proceed. What did you do? Did you proceed? Anybody can anybody, or you guys have not used one before? If you have not used one before, no problem.
I closed the app. I ran away on my own. I ran
Ha,
away.
exactly. I've had that experience a number of times. I ran away. He said I ran. Christopher said I ran immediately.
I deleted the app.
David said he uninstalled the app and cleared data. Okay. So he deleted the app. Yeah, that is now the person who was designing the app did not account for something. David, can you mute your mic, please?
Okay.
Now, the person who designed the interface did not account for something. Did not account for the fact that you are designing this fintech product for a Nigerian audience. Nigerians have trust issues. So if you tell them to install, to put their BVN at the beginning of the experience, as soon as you download the app like this, BVN at the beginning, Nigerians have trust issues. They won't use your app. They won't use it. So that person did not account for the fact that Nigerian audience, they are not too trusting. These guys, they are not too okay like that. That is an experience that they are not taking into account. Now you can't see that kind of a thing. It's not something you see. It's a psychological thing about your target audience. Your target audience, they are not okay. Any small thing like this, they will run away. So you don't put such a screen, submit your BVN at the beginning. You push it into, let them have an experience of the app. Let them even see what the home page looks like. Let them just ask them for their phone number or some form of validation, email address, no problem. Let them see the app. Let them see, let them press things, let them navigate, let them move around. Now, when now to perform an action, let's say they now want to maybe pay for something, borrow something, or whatever, you cannot ask them for their BVN. What you have just done is this: you have provided them with value, and in turn, because you have given them value, they have trusted you enough. They have gained enough trust to submit, to give you their valuable information. So you have made the experience of using that platform easy for they have made them trust you to give you that BVN number. That is what such a company should have done. I was designing a loan app one time like that, and I was reviewing, because if you want to design a product, you need to check other products existing. And that time I downloaded more than 10 different apps, and I saw that every single one of them, they had the same problem. Once you enter like this, they're asking for BVN, blood group, genotype, they asking for all of this information. And when people see such things, they get tired. Imagine, and I'm sure many of you share, if you enter if you enter an app and you see very long form, like 20 things that you must fill up. I saw one of those apps, 20 lined up that you must fill before you can go to the next thing. I said, it's not me and you. Immediately, I deleted the app. That experience is not good. So, the unseen experience, how your audience feels while using a product, how people feel while using a product, their experience, is it good? Is it bad? Is it okay? While using a product, that is um, what user experience caters for, and a lot of work goes into it. I like to use a popular example, TikTok. TikTok has one of the most craziest, maddest. TikTok is very addictive, and it is because of user experience. Now, while you are learning, build a project, work on a project. Don't go and learn. Then after I finish learning, now start building a project. Don't do that. One of the fastest ways to learn is by actually building a project of your own. So as you are learning about user research, on the other side, you are practicing user research on a project that you are working on. If you are learning um, competitive analysis, you are doing the same thing for the project you are working on. As you are doing that, you are learning faster, you are learning more, and you are doing more than a person who's just watching videos without actually doing anything. So as you are learning, be putting them into practice. You will be channeling those knowledge into practice that you are going to um, put in your portfolio later, which not leads me to a portfolio. Once you are done, you need to have a portfolio. Portfolio contains all your works, the works that you have done. This is something that you cannot do without. After your CV as a UIUX designer, the next most important thing is your portfolio, because that is where they are going to see your skill sets. They are going to understand what kind of designer you are. They understand how you approach design. They understand how you will see your works, how you solve the problems, and the screens you design, everything you did on a particular project. They need to see it. So you need to have a portfolio ready. Now, when should you start applying for jobs? Start applying for jobs while you are still learning. Yeah, while you are still learning, don't be afraid to apply for jobs. They may not pick you, but apply for jobs. Why am I saying this? Number one, many of those jobs, they will give you a design challenge. They'll ask you, they'll test your skills. Okay, they'll give you a project to work on to test your skills, right? So those projects will help you to think of real world cases, real examples that you are probably going to be solving when you eventually start working as a UI UX designer. I was still learning UI UX when I got my first job. I had not really mastered it like that, right? I got my first job as a UI UX designer while I was still in my learning period. And I got the job and I built some websites and some products for them. That's what I did. Now I was learning on the job. Can you imagine what that design looked like? Well, I don't know. They took a chance on me, and I was afraid, but I was doing it afraid. I was putting in my best. I was doing it afraid, but I was working. So when should you start applying for jobs? As you are learning, just be applying for jobs. I won't tell you that you must wait till this time. No, as you are learning it. But of course, you should have known about about. You should, I do not don't not start applying for a job on day one that you started learning on day one. So that is something that you should do. So that is when you start applying for jobs. And how do you get jobs? How do you get gigs? Let's say you have learned your okay no what else should you do once you have done your portfolio, you've learned enough, you've built a portfolio, your CV, very important. Get your CV clean, do it well, structure it properly. Okay, there are lots of CV guidelines that you can use, so I won't mention about your CV. Next thing is your LinkedIn profile, very very important. Your LinkedIn, you need to have a banging LinkedIn account, a LinkedIn profile, banging. Now, because you are new, you don't have any experience. How can you build a LinkedIn profile? There are LinkedIn account. There's a way you can structure a LinkedIn as a beginner that positions you in a way that you know what you are doing. All right. Again, that is not discussion for today. LinkedIn is a whole topic on its own. So you need to optimize your LinkedIn. Just go to ChatGPT and tell it optimize your LinkedIn account for a beginner UI UX designer, and you will see the wonders of ChatGPT. It will clear that one for you. So I'll give you an expo there. So yeah, what else? Your LinkedIn profile. Now, once you are done, join communities. As a beginner, join communities. Yes, online communities, UI US community. Join them. WhatsApp group, Telegram channels, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Don't join toxic ones. So I'll say join communities. I could recommend some. Um, their names is what I can't remember now, but there's one Design Yard. There's one called Design Yard. I'm currently on that one because I just like to interact with the community of designers, right? So look for communities you can join. What that will do for you is this: it is going to help you to see what others are doing. If you are working on something and you are stuck, you can ask somebody in your community, okay, I'm stuck in this area, help me out. Okay, so you cannot survive in UI UX alone as a solo kind of a guy. You need a community to assist you, to help you. Okay, you need to have a group of people you can fall back to and ask questions from and bounce off ideas with. Right, you need to have that as a beginner. It will help you. By the time you see what others have done, challenge you to do more. Then when you have seniors in that area, in that community, they can be give you tips on what to do. You can ask, you can get mentorship from such and also it's very important that you join communities. Then how do you start to apply for job? Where do you apply for jobs? Where do you get your gigs at? Like I said, one of the good things about joining communities is that you regularly see job updates, like a communities you join now. Somebody has a job update, you can they post it there, you see it, you apply. Other platforms such as Indeed.com have a profile on Indeed, have an Indeed profile, have an angel list. Hope you're writing these things down. Indeed, angel list, remote jobs. Do you have a platform on those website? Okay, platform very very solid. Talk about yourself. See, you need to be able to sell yourself. Like I said, I got my first job as a UI UX designer while I was still learning. How did it happen? God. Also, you need to know how to sell yourself. You need to know how to speak like you know exactly what you are doing, even though you have no idea what you are doing. Okay? Be confident. You need to speak confidently, right? But the thing is this, you must know what you are doing so that they'll not sack you at the end. They'll not sack you at the end. You must know what you are doing. But sell yourself. It is not the person who knows how to design the most that gets the best job. So no, it's not. There's a person who positions themselves properly. There's a person who sells themselves well enough. There's a person who builds an image of themselves as an expert. You sabi and where they are the ones that get the best job. So not really the person who knows how to do it very well. So while I was still learning, I got my first job. I think that job paid me the 150K. I was happy. 150K. My life. So that was my first job. So don't wait till you have perfected everything. Someone asked a question. Tochuku asked that, can you learn enough? Um, you can know enough to get you started, right? But you can't know enough of that part of UI UX. You can't. Nobody can know enough because it keeps evolving. New things keep coming up all the time. But you must know enough to get you started. At least you must know the basic. Um, so I've mentioned a number of things, and I last thing I just said now is what? Who will tell me last thing I said? I don't know if you are listening. Last thing I said, oh, nobody. That means you're not listening. Gang, gang. Hey, problem.
You said they'll be able to exhaust within 3 months.
Hi. David said the last thing I said. Nice one.
I'm
If I
talking
catch you,
about packaging yourself.
thank you. Aha, that was the last thing I said. All of you. Say last thing I said. Let me catch you people. Okay, so packaging yourself, presenting yourself in a way that appeals to your employer. Speak confidently. I don't think this is the right time to talk about interviews and what you expect because we are not there yet. But um, get join, please go on LinkedIn, program your LinkedIn to show you jobs in UI UX design, UI UX, maybe entry level jobs in UI. And now don't apply for only entry level job. Don't say because you're just starting, you are doing entry level. LinkedIn profile, please don't put beginner or beginner UI or junior. Please never in your life put junior in front of your title. Even if you are a junior in your mind, please don't let us know you are junior. Let us think that you are a senior. But don't go and write senior there and now start asking you senior question you cannot answer. Okay. Don't let the company be the ones to say no, we don't want you. But don't see a job and they are looking for a senior designer and you shy away. Apply for it too. Yeah, apply for it. If they pick you, if they pick you, well, it's your luck. They ask you questions. Don't come and hold me. But um don't cut yourself out of the opportunity. My first job I got was not a junior role. It was more of an intermediate role. My first job. So what I was doing was not what a junior should be doing. I was doing what an intermediate designer should be doing, right? And it stretched me a lot. That experience helped me to it stretched me. There were things I could not do, right? And I had developers who
What?
were
Really?
who
Stop
were
posting all these things, Joe.
who knew better and they were waiting for
Honestly.
good designs, flashy design. I had to go and think, I had to go and research. I ran to my mentors, help me. This thing they can't even go where I don't know. I ran to them for help, assistance, and I was getting tips. So it helped me to learn fast. Okay, I did not limit myself by that. So it's not. There's a person positions themselves properly. There's a person who sells themselves well enough. There's a person who builds in an image of themselves as an expert. You sabi and where they are the ones that get the best jobs. So not really the person who knows how to do it very well. So while I was still learning, I got my first job. I think that paid me the 150K. I was happy. 150K. My life. So that was my first job. So don't wait till you have perfected everything. Someone asked a question. Tochuku asked that, can you learn enough? Um, you can know enough to get you started, right? But you can't know enough of that part of UI UX. You can't. Nobody can know enough because it keeps evolving. New things keep coming up all the time. But you must know enough to get you started. At least you must know the basics. Okay. Can you see it? Confirmation. Yes, okay. Thank you, David. So this is an exhaustive list of things that you should know as a UI UX designer. So if you know this one, trust me, you know enough to get you started, right? So and everything that is there in 3 months, you can know it. You can know it in 3 months. Um, so I've mentioned a number of things, and I've last thing I just said now is what? Who will tell me last thing I said? I don't know if you are listening. Last thing I said, oh, nobody. That means you're not listening. Girl. Hey, problem.
You said they'll be able to exhaust the list within 3 months.
Hi. David said the last thing I said. Nice
You're
one. If I
talking
catch
about
you,
packaging yourself.
thank you. Aha, that was the last thing I said. All of you. See, last thing I said. Let me catch you people. Okay, so packaging yourself, presenting yourself in a way that appeals to your employer. Speak confidently. I don't think this is the right time to talk about interviews and what you expect because we are not there yet. But um, get join, please go on LinkedIn, program your LinkedIn to show you jobs in UI UX design, UI UX, maybe entry level jobs in UI. And now don't apply for only entry level job. Don't say because you're just starting you are doing entry level beginner. Don't do that yourself. And on your LinkedIn profile, please don't put beginner or beginner UI or junior. Please never in your life put junior in front of your title. Even if you are a junior in your mind, please don't let us know you are junior. Let us think that you are a senior. But don't go and write senior there and now start asking you senior question you cannot answer. Okay? Don't let the company be the ones to say no, we don't want you. But don't see a job and they are looking for a senior designer and you shy away. Apply for it too. Yeah, apply for it. If they pick you, if they pick you, well, it's your luck. They ask you questions. Don't come and hold me. But um don't cut yourself out of the opportunity. My first job I got was not a junior role. It was more of an intermediate role. My first job. So what I was doing was not what a junior should be doing. I was doing what an intermediate designer should be doing, right? And it stretched me a lot. That experience helped me to it stretched me to things I could not do, right? And I had developers who were who were who knew better and they were waiting for good designs, flashy design. I had to go and think, I had to go and research. I ran to my mentors, help me. This thing they can't even go where I don't know. I ran to them for help, assistance, and I was getting tips. So it helped me to learn fast. Okay, I did not limit myself by that. So that is that about that. One more thing I want to say before I take questions. I've overshot my time. I'm very sorry. Nobody was timing me. It's not my fault. It didn't time me. I don't have a clock to be checking time. So apologies if I've eaten deep into our time. Um, last thing I'm going to mention, or second to the last thing I'll mention, is that get mentors. Get a mentor. I'm telling you, your journey will be a lot faster if you have a mentor because something that will take you 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours to do, a mentor can just tell you and you do and instantly you've gotten it. There was one day I was working on a design. It gave me problem. I was no, it gets to a point that you are designing and you can start crying because you have spent hours on it and the thing is not working. This thing is not is not doing. And I was there for hours just racking my brain thinking, checking online, how can I do this? I spent hours there and I said, okay, let me just talk to this guy. And I asked him, please, I'm trying to do this thing. Can you help me? And I said, okay, very simple now. Just do this, do this, do this. And beloved, I did this, and the thing worked. I was like, hey, God, I've spent hours on this thing, and in 2 seconds, this guy has solved the problem for me. So your life will be a whole lot easier if you have a mentor, somebody who has walked the road, who has seen, at least who has some distance, some experience behind his back, that can help you to navigate the path. Okay, don't do it like this. Don't do this type of design. You can bounce off a design. Then if I the first company I worked for, because I was just starting, I was really terrified, right? So if I do a design, I show my mentor first. Okay, see my screen. Oh, what do you think? Assess this thing before I submit it. And it was a remote job. So yes, he checks it. Okay, adjust this place, fix this place, change this place, and I do it and I submit. And they say, "Oh, nice, very good design. Oh, awesome." And I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I like deliver." You will know that it was not no be so it be. So that's that about that. So you need to be, don't let them know, don't let people know that you're just starting. Don't let them know. As in at an interview, guy, the way you sit down and answer questions, say, as in I know full ground, tell them, interact, talk. Let me not give you my interview secret. What I used to do. If you don't know how to answer a question, just beat around the bush. On that, I was at an interview and asked me a question and I don't know the answer. Say, hey God, no, and he's on ground. I was there looking at me. I was in their front. I couldn't quickly rush to Google and check the answer. I had to just. It was God that helped me in that interview. I took them round. Mo gbé wọn sáré, mo gbé wọn rìn. Took them round and round and round until they themselves were like, okay, let's move on to the next question. So don't have the appearance like you don't know what you are doing. Just say something, okay? So that's that about that. Okay, I think I have said a lot. And lastly, as a UI UX designer, please don't stop learning. Don't stop learning. Always keep on learning. I have the number of books, number of articles I have read, the number of books I have read in UI UX. It is a lot. I read every day. I watch videos. I update my knowledge. I am not satisfied. If I go online, I see a design that is mad. I'm like, how did they do this thing? I go and practice it. I'm not satisfied with what I'm doing. I check what others are doing. People who are better than me. I ask them questions. I I improve myself. So don't stop learning. And one of the things that will help you is you must know how to ask the right questions. Because sometimes if you have a mentor, don't waste his time by asking questions that are not relevant. You must know how to ask the right questions. You must know how to draw the right information. Okay? You must know how to do all those things. Very, very important that you build that nature, that ability to ask what is important, ask the right questions. I can't overemphasize that. Very important. And I think with that you can the sky is the starting point and be limit. Whatever the sky is, that is going to be your experience. So keep learning, I wish you well in your journey as you begin. So I'm waiting for the next batch of UI UX designers that will shake the world and build amazing products that will rival the likes of the giants in the industry. We call them FANG: Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. We call them the FANG companies. They are the largest tech companies in the world. That is where most people want to go and work. They want to go and work in a FANG company. Hmm. Beloved, you might not work in a FANG company, but trust me, we work in a company that needs your service. And I can't wait to see the amazing things you are going to do. So, thank you very much for having me. I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak and share my knowledge with you all. Um, Thank you very much. So I'm done with my talk. Over to the moderator.
All right, thank you very much for the explanations and all you said. We appreciate your presence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm sure that everyone on this call must have learned one or two things, maybe as a newbie or as a junior designer. Thank you very much, Mr. Soji. You will see for the enlightenment. It was nice having you on the call. I've learned a lot from what you've said. And let me quickly do a recap of some of the things he said. He said, don't stop learning. That was one of the last points he mentioned. He said, don't stop learning. And he also said, you should don't say because you're a junior designer and you restrict yourself to job entry, job. Designing the lower cadre works in UI UX. Apply for jobs. Do not minding your experience, your number of years of your experience. Just apply and be confident with what you do. And if you're not finding your field easy, you should do something about it. The way I put it in my notebook, I said, if you're not finding your field easy, in other words, if you can't play football on your field, go and find another pitch. You get. So if you're having issues with your career presently, I think you need to sit down, just like he sat down, called his mind, his head, everything together, and then he had to make a conscious decision to pursue something that will bring yield a great income. So maybe we should use tonight to sit down and think about that. All right. So um he also mentioned some things, on how to build our LinkedIn accounts. He talked about some design decisions, why a button is rounded, why the share button is where it is, So you can see UI UX. I hope you were able to gain one or two things, and you can deduce that UI UX is actually very, very interesting. It's not a boring job at all. It's not a boring job at all. So um now we'll be going to the question and answer session. We'll be moving on to the question and answer session. Please, if you have any question, please raise up your hand, signified by a show of hand, and let's have you. Are people raising up their hand now? Let me go back to my screen. Please, if you have any question, please raise up your hand.
I think someone is raising
Okay.
I better do some.
All right. Okay. Abiodun Samuel, please unmute and ask a question, please. Abiodun Samuel, you can ask a question. Or Crystal Bell, if you are ready, you can ask a question, please.
Okay, thank you. Uh, I want to ask our speaker how someone can get started with the UI UX. How can someone get started? That's number one question. Another thing, one thing I don't know, is it a programming language if you want to get started? Like what I know programming, and then how do we get started? What programming language do we use to do UI UX? Actually, the initial question, at initial, you asked a question, our level of experience with UI UX. Are we novice or amateur? Do you get me now? So I don't know anything about UI UX. Do you get? Actually, there was a job that I applied for some times ago. That okay. So they asked a question that from that question I know that UI UX is one of the IT skill that someone should have. Do you get me? Even that's what got me interested in this class. So I want to know how someone can get started with UI UX, and then which type of programming language that you use to get started. Thank you.
Okay. Your first question: how do you get started in UI UX? So let's say you want to start today now. I dropped a message on the I dropped a message in the call in the chat area. All the topics you need to know, you need to start reading, you need to start learning. You could decide to enroll in an academy. There are lots of them you can enroll for. An academy where you can learn UI UX. Or you can decide that maybe you don't have the money to learn, you don't have the time to dedicate to a structured learning environment. You want to do it at your own pace, then you can go and learn on your own. And learning on your own means that you're going to watch tutorials that has been done by others on YouTube or other platforms, watching video tutorials. So you go and learn UI, you take those courses, do the examples, acquire the skills. So that's how you get started. Two ways: self-learn, or you enroll in an academy, take the course and you get the skills. So that's how you get started. Now, it is not a programming language. You do not need, it's not programming. You're not programming anything in UI UX. Uh, for the UI aspect of it, we are going to be using a design software. There are different softwares you can use. The most popular one is called Figma. There are other ones, Adobe XD, Sketch, different platforms, right? So that is where you design. What you are doing is design. However, it's not the same as graphics design. Graphics design, you are not designing user interfaces. A graphics designer does not design user interface. A graphics designer does more of marketing materials, maybe publicity materials, marketing materials, logos, branding, and branding related stuff. That is where UI UX falls. Sorry, that's where graphic design falls under. So graphic design falls under the marketing side of business branding aspect. You design a logo, a business card, a flyer, a wallpaper. That is what you do. Okay, not an interface. So what you design can either be seen on a screen or printed on paper. That is graphic design. But UI UX, you are designing something that people will interact with. You are designing a mobile app, a website. So it is not a programming language used. It's a design software you use to design those interfaces. What you are seeing right now on your screen is was designed on a platform maybe like Figma now. You can design this on the platform like Figma. And so, can I share my screen? Do I have the ability to share my
Yes,
screen?
you should be able to share your screen.
Okay, I want to show you a design so as to help you understand what I mean by UI UX, so that we don't cancel share my entire screen. Okay, so should be able to see my screen right now. So what you are seeing right now is, you can see my screen, right? Can you see my screen? Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see
No, I can
it.
see your screen.
All right, thank you. So you asked if what do you use? Is it programming language? No, is it design software? Currently, we are on Figma. This is Figma. Everything you are seeing is not coding. It is just design, right? Everything you are seeing is just design, not coding. So this is what the product is going to look like after it has been done. This is what it will look like. This is what I will give to a, this is architectural plan that I'm going to give to a developer, and a developer is going to work on this. Do you understand? So everything you are seeing is not coding, it's just design. But this design isn't just out of maybe I like it or it's fine. Let me put it here. There's a lot of research that has gone into designing what you are looking at. I've done research, I've done a lot of work in the UX aspects, in the user experience, right? I can't start telling all of that now. It's a very exhaustive list of things I've done, right? So um, that is what UI UX is. It is not coding, all right? So after you have done this design now, you now take it to the developers. They will now um, code it and make it live on the website. So what you are seeing on your screen right now, this Google Meet interface was designed. After the design was completed, it was now shipped to a developer that now wrote the code of what we can do right now. So thank you. Answer your question.
Exactly. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Next question.
Sir,
Yes. You go ahead. Ask your question.
Okay, good evening, sir, Mr. Adesoji.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you for the tips you've been sharing since. We really do appreciate. So my own question to you this evening is that where do you go for inspiration when you need inspiration? I mean, when designing, where do you go to get inspiration, or does it come naturally, or does it occur to you naturally? And my question number two is me, I think I'm actually into UI UX, but I'm not an expert, but I know some basics about it. So, and one thing I learned is that because I have friends that are into UI UX, more like they are more like underpaid when it comes to, especially they are working for Nigerian companies, like, and it's actually a remote job, and they are more like underpaid. And I would like if you could share tips on materials we could lay our hands on, maybe after the call, something to like keep us on our toes, like something to work with after the call, is something we would actually appreciate. And the last question I would, which is connected to the second question I asked, is what do you see? What are your views about this being underpaid, especially when you are working for a Nigerian company? That is what I'm putting out to you, sir.
Okay. First question: where do you get inspiration from? I just posted some websites in the chat that you can go and check out. These are platforms that you can get inspiration from. Dribble, Awards, Behance, Mobin. So you can start for what you are looking for exactly. If you are looking for the rest of for us that we are not, let me go to one of those websites. This is awards.com. This shows you some of the best websites in the world, right? The best website on the internet. That is what you see here, site of the day. So if you are looking for website in say sports, you want to check for sports, any website in the area of sports, right? It shows you list of different kinds of websites that are live that you can just check out and get inspiration from. So let's say you look at this one and you like it and you open it and you see you can go to this site and check it out and get inspirations from there. So there's nothing wrong in you um, copying if you're just starting in doing what someone else has done. Okay, it's very, very allowed. Please don't allow anybody to guilt trip you that you are copying another person. You need to actually copy somebody, copy a good design for you to be able to come up with your own creativity. It's by doing what someone else has done. You start to learn the tricks on how they did some things. You start to encounter problems that you need to think and solve. That's where you start to get your muscle memory begins to grow and develop so you can actually build something of yours. So come here to get inspiration. This is Dribble. You come here to look for ideas on Dribble. So anything you're looking for, if you're looking for a blog. So currently I was searching for a blog here. It shows you different types of blogs that you can get inspired by. So Dribble, that's Dribble. So there are other platforms like that that you can check. So you just check them out on the check the ones out that I've put here. So your second question is about being underpaid in UI UX. So the company you work for, will determine, then the value you place on yourself will determine um, what you earn as a UI UX designer. There are UI UX designers who earn 80K, and it's not as if they're not good, they are good, but they earn 80K. So what's wrong? What's the problem? Why are they earning 80K? Don't blame the, yes, some Nigerian companies, the things we see on internet. I saw a job advert for a senior UI UX designer. And when I saw the salary they want to pay the person, I was like, God, they wanted to pay 100 to 150K for a senior UI UX designer. I would say, senior 150K. Why? Now there are now there are people that will apply for that job. You will see people will apply for that job. You will see hundreds of people that will apply. They will go for interview for that job. So it's I would say it is the company you work for. Don't blame the companies. Yes, they will underprice you, but you must place a value on yourself. I must prove that value for them to want to pay you higher. That's one. Two, you can get jobs that are not within this our Obodo Nigeria. You can get remote jobs, you can get foreign jobs. I have UIUX designers as for friends and colleagues that work in foreign companies and they pay them well. So you must know gang, Nigeria. Okay, the gel will come up soon. But you can see my shining teeth now and my glasses.
Yeah, we can see that. We can see that. We can see that.
Okay, okay, light is back. So um as I was saying, the company you the company you work for, you can work for companies outside of Nigeria. So please don't limit yourself to Nigeria. Don't limit yourself to Nigeria. Expand your borders. Expand your borders. I have done interviews with design with some companies that are not in Nigeria. I've landed some opportunities, okay, with some of them, and some of them I'm on their list of designers. There are some companies that they hire designers for other companies. So I'm enlisted on some of those platforms. All right. So don't limit yourself to Nigeria. If Nigerian companies are not paying well, it's a reality. It is the same time as graphic designers. Let me give you an instance now. How much do you think a graphic I because I did graphic design and I know how much they were pricing my designs. How can you do logo for 2K, 2,000 naira, and you want that business to grow? Like, fear is not even catching you. Fear of God is not even in your mind. Logo of 2K, and you will see the logo, you think customers will come to your business. Ah, bad, no, now, or wrong. But guys, that level I was in, I did it to guy when hunger hits my head that time. I did it to. There are times that you need to accept a seemingly small job in your starting process. However, you are doing that to gather experience and to know what the industry offers. Because the truth is this: what you are learning and what the real world will throw at you sometimes is different. Though you will think that you have learned this, you have learned all of these things, but in a real world setting, right? Everything you have learned, you realize that it's different too. You don't need to go and relearn and unlearn and overlearn and do everything at the same time. So Sometimes, real world example, they say we are building a website for this company, and this is what they need. You are coming with, okay, I was taught that I must do this, I must do this, I must do this. You have come into structure, and you see a project that it is scatter your structure. So you need to have these small crumbs. Not necessarily, like I said, my first job was not a junior level job, it was an intermediate level job, and it stretched me a lot. And the pay was 150K. That time I thought it was very plenty because I was coming from 15,000 naira every month to 150K. It's a big jump. I was happy. Oh, well, yeah. But later I realized that 150K is small money now. Hey, SOG, what is, you can't do anything with it. So you grow. So my lesson here is just grow, follow the process, just grow. If you get a job that is not paying you much, please learn as much as you can on that job while you are still searching for other jobs, other opportunities, better opportunities. And once those better ones come, you will not be paid the same salary. I can guarantee you that. If you are being paid 150K today, your next job, I can bet you won't earn that same salary. And in 3 months, you can get another job. So in 4 months, you can switch jobs, you can change. That's the beauty of this. You can change job. I got a job. I was working in the company before I joined Zenith Bank. I spent just maybe 4 months there, and I got a better offer, way better offer, and I moved. Okay, so you start from somewhere, and you take that as your parachute to. No, no, parachute brings you down, doesn't take you up. What takes you up? The thing that takes you up, that's what I'm talking about. So, all right, to answer your question, have I
Oh, I
answered your
think.
question?
Oh,
Any more
okay. I
questions?
think we have three hands up.
Okay,
And
I can't see the hands, so
okay,
just ask.
Titilope,
Okay.
Agbonjimi. So after that, okay, I've two them. Adebayo, Uluwale, Olawale rather.
All right. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Adesoji, for the insightful session. I have two questions.
Okay,
The first is there any influence, whether positive or negative, or effects of AI on UI UX as we speak?
okay,
Then, secondly, is there a likelihood of UI UX fading out in the future or handing over to something else? And how
okay.
do you prepare for that? Thank you. Those are my two questions.
Thank you, ma'am. So there's been a lot of talks in recent times that AI will replace UI UX designers. You will lose your jobs to UI UX design. And it started with graphics designers that there are platforms that they are doing now that can design for you. You don't need to know any design stuff. And what I say is that you cannot remove the human factor from technology. As much as technology is advancing rapidly, which is very great, you cannot entirely remove the human factor from technology. How what will happen is that technology will enhance human productivity, as currently is happening in UI UX. An example is ChatGPT, for instance, now is seriously enhancing UI UX design in a number of ways. So ChatGPT can give you ideas. It can tell you, give you a broader picture of a problem you're working on, for instance. It can write things for you and save you time. Okay? There are some things we call plugins in Figma. I'm going into deep. This is a deeper session because most people here are starters, but I'll try and just simplify it. There are there are things we use in design that makes us work faster, and they are now integrating AI, artificial intelligence, to make it even faster and fastest. Today now, you can move your design directly from Figma and transfer it to a platform that will code it for you. You don't need to have a front end developer. Now, a front end developer is a person who takes your website design that you have done and writes the code using maybe HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and other libraries, whatever, to write that code that you can now access on the internet. Right now, there are platforms that AI is sponsoring or AI is powering that as you are designing, it is converting it into code directly. I mean, that's amazing. That's like groundbreaking. Okay, so something like that now. AI is enhancing what you have done. AI cannot do interview. AI will not do interview. If I want to interview, because I'm dealing with human problem as a UI/UX designer, we are solving human problems. Somebody has a problem. People have problems. You need to understand that problem. How does this problem affect them? Don't just go and build a product and think people will like it. You need to go and ask those people, how is this problem affecting you? How do you think we can solve this problem? If you want to build an app for a woman who is selling pastries, who is selling donuts, who is selling this and that, a question you will ask is this: who are her customers? Who is she targeting? Now go and ask those customers, have they ever bought anything like snake cakes or pastries on a mobile device before? Have they? If the majority says no, it tells you that if this woman builds this app, nobody will use it. Because currently, nobody is doing that.
Ah, thank God.
So why do you want to introduce a product to them that they are not likely going to use? Do you get it? So you are solving human problems. You need to go and ask those humans of how is this problem affecting them. AI might not be able to get you that level of um, intimate interaction with people, real individuals. Okay, AI might not get that level yet. So UI designers, your work is secure. Trust me. Don't be afraid. Very, very secure. So I think I've answered that question. What's the second
Thank you.
question?
The other question, the other question is about is it you've already answered the two actually.
Okay,
Now, is there
okay.
a likelihood of it fading out so soon or being
No,
taken over by something else? Yeah.
no, it's not because, like I said, you are so. I was asked to do a game app, a platform where you can answer questions and you will earn money. So they'll ask you trivia questions about general knowledge in Nigeria, and the more you get the questions right, the more money you are going to win. I was asked to design something like that, and I knew that for me to make this happen, I need to. This is not something that's common in Nigeria. I've never used a product like that before. I've never. So I need to go and ask people, okay, if you see a product like this, what do you think about it? Will you use it? Are you sure? Okay. Ask questions to understand if this solution I am bringing is going to be relevant. Let me tell you about a product that failed. It's called a Segway. I don't know if you know a Segway. Is this machine that had let me look for the picture and send and show you. Segway. Found it. I'll post the picture on the chat now. Is this device, this machine thingy that was done? It looks very cool. It looks very no, it's nice now. It's really nice. It looks cool. Let me download it. Copy image. No, save. Okay, so this device was produced and it looked very cool. It looked very. I can't paste picture here. Yeah, too bad. Okay, Segway. It looks very cool, and lots of people were jumping on it. Ah, okay, it's nice, but they made a critical mistake. They did not do any market research. This is a Segway. Can you see my screen? Yes, you can see my screen. This thing, I'm sure you must have seen it at some time, probably. Yes, this device thingy here. You can see my screen, right? Yes. So this thing was done, was built. It looks cool. It looks nice, right? The person who developed it thought, this is very nice. It will look fun. No, people will jump on it. They assumed that people will jump on it because it's a cool, trendy device, machine on two wheels, just moving around, very awesome. That is what they thought. They assumed. They did not do a critical aspect of product development, which is user research, which is validating your assumption in UI UX design. I call it validating your assumption that you have an assumption as a developer, as a designer. You have something in your head that you think is going to work. However, take it to the real world. The people that are going to use it, go and ask them, this thing, what do you think? Will you use it? What do you think about this? They did not, they cut out the users and built it. They invested billions into this thing, guys. Billions went into this. There was lots of frenzy about it. But then, when this stuff got to the market, they found problems. Number one problem is this, that it was dangerous. Number two, it doesn't fit into the current transportation network that we have around the world. You can't count it as a car, so you can't put it on the road. You can't count as a motorcycle, it can't be on the road. It's also not a bicycle, it can't be on the road. At the same time, you can't use this on a sidewalk, like where people are passing. You can't use it there because it will be bumping into people. It didn't fit into the current road network system, transport network that we have. It didn't fit in. That was a problem. So people could not use it on the roads. People were now using it only in areas like maybe you find it in hotels, golf courses, vacation spot. That is where they were now using it. So they made a huge loss on this product, as fine and trendy as it looks. They lost a lot of money. And to now make it worse, the founder, the CEO of this company, the CEO of this company had an accident. He was riding a Segway and he rode off a cliff and died. The CEO of the company, CEO, was using his own his own products and rode off a cliff and died. That was the end of that company. Segway packed up and today is only found in maybe malls, all these hotel places, hangar. Money was lost. What happened? They did not ask the users. They did not talk to people. Artificial intelligence cannot do that for you. You must do it yourself. Thank you very much. Next question.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for the class. Okay, my question is, I'm a novice in this whole UI UX design. So, do you need to have a graphic design background before you can venture into this part? Like, I can see many apps that has a lot of graphic designs on them to convey their information. So, are you the one that is supposed to do the designs yourself in order to convey your information? I don't know if you understood me.
Okay. You don't need to have graphics design skills before you can become a UI UX designer. However, having a graphic design skill is going to make it very, very easy for you to understand certain things in UI. Remember, I said UI is user interface, UX is user experience. It is in UI that you do the design, you do all the rectangles, buttons, images, colors here
Yeah.
and there, right? UI graphic design background will help you to learn faster, will help you to do it, you grab it faster than a person who doesn't have. But it is not a disadvantage. You can learn it. You can learn it. Tell yourself, I can learn it.
I can learn it.
Good. You can learn it. So that's why I say I give you 3 months. 3 months, you will learn it in 3 months. Don't worry, you will learn it. So
Okay.
what's the next question you asked?
No, that's all. That's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't need to be a graphic designer. But if you are, I was one. Let me not lie, I was one, and it made my life quite enjoyable. But you don't need to learn. Now, those two fields, UI UX, in some big companies, they are separated. UX is a field on its own, like an entire field. In fact, even within UX, there are other fields within UX alone. To tell you that these two fields are very, very wide. UI, UX. UX is user experience. Under that, you have user research. You have different branches, right?
Yes.
Under UI too, you have different branches. But it's in Nigeria that's our head. if you don't if you don't do everything. In fact, I'm sure you must have seen some jobs that they will say UI UX designer. You will not check and be seeing you must have HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Kilo, like all the programming languages in the world. What is what would I offend? You see those things. So why? Let me quickly answer that question. You don't need all those skills. Developer, you don't need it. Trust me, you don't. Why those things are there is this. Many HR companies, many recruiters, they don't know the job requirements of a UI UX designer. They go and copy it somewhere. There's a place, that's why they all look similar. All those things you see, they look similar. They are copying from the same place. Copy and paste. So you find you are looking for UI UX designer. You're now seeing 100 years experience building JavaScript. It does not concern me now. You don't need that. So don't worry about those things. If you see a job that are looking for UI UX designer and you're seeing all those things, apply. If they ask that, can you tell them you cannot do it? That the job does not require you to know it. So thank you. Next question.
I think Adebayo can come up now. He has been messing up his hand. Is he still on call?
Oh, sorry.
Let me
I'm
check.
sorry.
Let me check. Okay.
Be
It's
as vex and go.
Olawale is still on call. Still on call. Olawale Adebayo.
Okay. Mr. Wale.
Hello, are you there? Please, can you unmute your mic?
Yes, yeah, I've unmuted it. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. So I already, like I said, can you give us more like material or source we can get videos from, more like a video or a tutorial we can do our answer.
Okay. Um, Please, everyone, before this call is over, copy this list I sent of all the topics that I feel you should know to get. Just copy that. Thank you.
I think we've actually. So, is there anybody that has question because we've exhausted our time here? Some
Any
people,
question, please?
some people were
Sorry,
supposed to
I've
be
exhausted
sleep.
time.
Some people were supposed to be sleeping now. uh, I hope they are enjoying it. That's why they're still on call.
Anybody?
Okay, I think Anna can come up
The
if there's no
absence of
question. There's some questions that was dropped on the or on the Google form while they're filling it. So I would like her to take
okay.
those questions. Though some of those questions are actually personal to us, I would just like her to just administer the questions.
Okay.
All right. I can say that we are really enjoying the meeting. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can
Hello,
hear
can
you.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and
All
clear.
right. Thank you. I can see that our audience, they are really enjoying the session. That's why some of us have waited to this time. So some of the questions dropped on the Google form. Uh, will this be a continuous thing? Some are asking that will this training be continuous? Is it something that we keep recurring? Will there be chance to, have access to trainings like this? And then another question is, will the tutor be able to give training, all basics of the training? They are talking. The question is actually directed to a lot academy. That will this training be continuous? Will it be a continuous training? And then will we give our trainees all the basics of the training? And then how long is the session? Okay, I guess this person is asking how long the training is asking about, how long will it take? And then the last question, okay, that I can find here said, the person said, when you are starting, how many months will it be? Okay, I think it's still the same question the person is trying to ask here. All right, let me check if there are still other questions here that I can direct to the host. Um, okay, so how can I build a strong UI/UX portfolio that showcases my skills and experience to potential employers? All right, so let me just invite the host to explain some things to us, as regards this question that you should give an answer to them. I just hope the people that ask the question are still on call, but well, I guess it will benefit the people on call now. So I'll be inviting Olushola to answer those questions.
Okay, thank you so much. Um, the first question: how long will this train? Is this going to continue? Yes, that's a simple question. Answer for that. Yes, it's going to continue. Um, I will I will match that question with the second question. That is this a training? Sorry, how long will this training be or something like that? Please, can you rephrase this question because I don't have it here. Can you the question on how long will the training?
He said, will the tutor be able to give training, all the basics of the training? I mean,
Okay,
again, what the person is doing from the context, what is that he's trying to ask uh, is there going to be a training, maybe to take, to introduce UI UX, and how long will the training be? Are you going to give us the details?
what we're doing
Yeah,
today is not
so
actually training, so I need to clarify that because the question, like, I have many of that question. I just copy something that capture the question. We have about four of it like this in this context. So today's program is not actually training. It's an event. It's a seminar. So that's why we bring up the speaker and give you an expository about UIUX. So it's a seminar, and the seminar is going to continue. Though it's not going to be every day, it's just going to be uh every month. We can promise you every month, but not every week. So just watch out to our social media, watch out to our ads and all. Yes, I'm going to, okay. There's one of the questions that's when are we starting and how many months are we going to? How many months? So I'm going to address that by
when are we
okay.
starting this training, will it be?
So how long will this session? Okay, that was it is the person that asked that how long will this session be? It's just talking about this particular event. So sorry for taking your time. This section is going to be 1 hour 30 minutes, but I think our speaker is actually loaded, so we can't just go without giving you the content. So sorry for taking your time. Um, when are we starting and how many months will the training be? Just I said the other time, this is just an event and seminar. So there is a training coming up next month. We're going to communicate that with you. Now, for the this is going to be a plus for everybody that actually joins this call. We're going to add you to our community. We have a community. When the speaker was talking the other time, he talked about you having a mentor, you having someone that will guide you, you having a community. We have a community whereby we'll bring everyone into the community. You can actually ask questions, share your experience. You'll be filled by okay things that you need to get. So the through the community, we have WhatsApp page whereby we'll add you up there when and in our upcoming events, and we'll be updating on that. So we have a training that's coming up March. It's a V training actually. The V training. So everybody is open to everybody. Maybe you're a novice, you're intermediate, and you are a pro in the it's open to everybody. So uh that will be about 2 weeks or so. 2 weeks or so. So the main training is going to come up in probably subsequent months. So there are a lot of things we still put in consideration about that. So the first thing is that we're going to add you into our community, and I promise you, not you are going to get a lot about you're going to get a lot there. We have a lot of things in store for you. So um the okay, let me just pre-open this before I forget. The our speaker for today, I think we should just appreciate him on our with our favorite emoji and comments. He has really done a lot for us, seriously. I've even personally I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. So I would like you to do something for our speaker just to appreciate our speaker. He's going to I would like him to drop his social media handles. Follow him on social media. You can DM him, and maybe if you have any questions you can ask. Though he's a busy person, he might not reply you immediately. He might not reply immediately. He's a very busy person. So I would like him to drop his social media and to just follow him on his page, and if you have anything. So I'll drop our handles here to you. Please follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. And also I would like us to do something. When you learn something, the best is actually document what you learn. The best way to document something these days in this digital world is actually to put it on your social media page. I'll just try point out the things you learned from this training, put in your social media, Facebook, Instagram, and hashtag Alert Academy. Then make sure you put at Alert Academy so that people can actually check our page at Alert Academy. I'll drop it on the page. Um, Mr. Adesojo, you will see. Please, can you drop your social media handle? I hope you all understand what I said. Please, after this session, just take away from this session, draft it out, post it on your social media page at Alert Academy, and don't forget to put hashtag Alert Academy. Yes. Okay, how can I have access to our speakers drop his LinkedIn page. Just click on it, copy it because then once we end this video, we might not have access to it again. However, we're going to send it to your to the community. We're going to add everybody to the community. We're going to paste it on the community. But you can just click on the link now, follow him. Is there any question? If there's any question, I think we are good. If there's any question, please administer it. Over to you, Anna.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Olushola. Right, so I want to appreciate our hosts, and I also want to appreciate our guest speaker for the time spent with us. He has really done a good job enlightening us about how to go about UI UX design if Adventure wants to take it as a career path. So okay, so yes, I was talking about the community. You get to get access to resources, informations on UI UX. You know, there are some of us that we are just getting to learn about UI UX. So you get resources, the daily digest, things you should know, things your routine as a newbie in the field, what you should start feeding on, because it is what you spend your time doing that you become. So you need someone to pace you, need someone uh to structure your learning. So that's what the community is for. You get to mingle with people that seniors in the field, people that are just coming up, So the juniors learn from the seniors, and vice versa. So that's just that. And then you get announcements on our subsequent free and paid trainings. So our boot camp will be upcoming. Just like when we are ready, we will send you, we will post it on our announcement page in the community. But just like the hosts are said, we soon have a subsequent we will soon have a free training in March. So please follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram at A Lot Academy. You know, just search at A Lot, like A Lot written together, A Lot Academy written together without any space, at A Lot Academy. Please kindly follow us and share your how will I put this now? What you've learned, tag us on your social media handles and share what you've learned. So I want to say thank you. I want to say a lot of thank you to everyone. A lot of thank you, tons of thank you. Thank you very much for staying till now. Thank you for staying with us from the beginning and to the end of the events. So just you can send your waving emoji to wave everybody goodbye. And I want to appreciate our host, Mr. Olushola Kimbode, our guest speaker, Mr. Soji Yurusi. Thank you for attending. And I'll say happy night rest at this junction. All right, bye.